Or if it's going to dry out fast enough for slicks or not, so we stayed out long, but obviously it didn't. In the end, a very, very good race, very well executed. We always knew when we need to push and when it was in control. So big thanks to the team. And one more day tomorrow to hopefully challenge.
Yeah, Hockenheim historically has been a good place for you. Clinched the championship here 2 years ago. Now you jumped from P8 as a championship with little chance. Obviously, you jumped to P2 and you are full in the mix. So a little bit surprised by that, or was that the master plan?
It was always the plan to win the Saturday race. Obviously, plans don't always work out, but today luckily it did. We also obviously always hoped that our closest contenders, or they were not close to us then, but the main contenders have a more difficult day and we can gain some points. And that things work out like that obviously is great. Nevertheless, like I said, it's far from done. We're not leading yet. We still have one very tough day ahead of us tomorrow. It will be a big showdown. I'm not sure how many drivers are still in the fight, but I guess a lot. So it's gonna be a big fight all the way to the end, and we need to make sure we're ready. So we will prepare in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's slimmed down. It's only beside you 7 other guys who are fighting for the championship. So looks like not too difficult. Now we had tremendous conditions at the start of the race. A lot of rain, delayed start. So what were your thinking? What were your feelings sitting alone in the car with all that rain and don't know when the race will going to start?
I was happy to go at any point, honestly. I mean, of course, there was a lot of water in the beginning and visibility was not great even at the front. So there's a very valid reason why the start was delayed. But nevertheless, like I said, I was always confident on the wet. We've always been quick, especially in mixed changing conditions. So for me, it was never a question whether we're going to be competitive in those conditions or not. It was more just waiting for the heavy rain to stop and to finally get going.
In the opening part of the race, so Ben was leading from pole, but made his mistake in the hairpin, and then it was Jack in the lead. So you were really closing quickly on Jeb. How difficult was it to overtake him?
It was not super easy because in all of the places that lead up to an overtaking opportunity, he was pretty quick. So I was never close enough for a couple of laps. I had to bide my time and be a bit patient because I knew we will have the pace, especially once it dries out. So in the end, everything worked out in a very good way. I managed to force him into a small error in turn 8 and had the outside line for 10 and 11 where I managed to make it stick. So very happy about that. Massive thanks to the team. It was a difficult race to manage, but we did very well, I believe, and I'm just happy to still be in the fight.
So what is the plan for tomorrow? You checked the mark today with a win. Now Lucky is still in the lead of the championship. What is the master plan for tomorrow?
To win again, honestly. Then doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. If we win, we're champion. So that's the plan. Like I said before, in DTM, planning things is kind of pointless because it's always a lot of action and a bit of a mess, especially on the last race of the season. So I definitely hope we will be able to have a good qualifying. This is key. It was also key today to start close to the front, and then everything is possible.
Yeah, you showed it here 2 years ago, also on Sunday. So watch out what happens tomorrow. So Ricardo, P2 today. Yeah, you came a little bit on the taste of the podium and taste of champagne after your win at Red Bull Ring. So yeah, also for you today, Audi conditions and Ricardo Feller conditions?
Well, seems like normally we like the wet, and was working out quite well today again. And we were lucky that it rained today because the extra weight we are carrying from Red Bull Ring is not affecting us too much in the wet. So perfect race today to finish P2. I'm very proud.
Audi is traditionally a quick car here, and also in the dry conditions. Today in the wet, we saw. So you had a little bit of fights. You had a fight with Jack. Also, the last laps with Maurice behind you were quite entertaining. So tell us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Like Tommy just said, in the beginning was quite wet, but then we just kept going, and it was getting better and better. I could overtake the Jack on the second stint then, and had Morris all race behind. He was doing a very good job, and in the end it was very tight in the last laps, but luckily I managed to stay in the front. But like I said before, I'm very proud of the crew for the work they put in, the improvements we did now, especially in the second half of the season, to stand on the podium again. Again, a good pit stop today. So yeah, just super proud.
We had drying conditions in the second part of the race. So how was it to keep the tires alive?
Yeah, it was actually quite good until the last 3-4 laps. I would say there I was dropping quite a bit, especially on the rear axle, but that's normal. I mean, we were pushing all the time on the tire. We were never really saving it. So of course, at one point, it just cannot do it anymore, which is totally normal. But luckily nothing went wrong. No punctures or anything like that. So all good.
Okay, thank you, Ricky. Then moving on to P3, Maurice Schuring. Maurice, welcome to the DTM podium. It's the first podium appearance for you in your debut season in DTM. So lucky that you clinched that goal.
Yeah, I think that was the goal coming into the year, to be on the podium. I'm really happy it finally happened. It was a tough beginning of the DTM season for me, but I think since Nürburgring we've really shown a good progress, and now to also get some silverware for it is really something I'm proud of.
And in really difficult conditions. So how was the race for you?
Well, as a Dutch guy, I think rain is never really a problem. We're quite used to it. I always feel quite comfortable. I think it's also a good condition for the Porsche, like we see. The car gave me great confidence. The team did a good job. It was quite difficult to keep the tire alive, especially in the second stint, because we had this dry line appearing. You want to push, but not too much, because then you will collapse in the end. So I think we managed this quite well, and we were really close to Ricciardo in the end. For me, it was kind of a risk-reward thing. How much do I want to risk it and still get the podium? In the end, I think it was less than a tenth, but still happy.
Okay, you're in a special position. So both of our teammates, Thomas and Chan, are still fighting for the championship. You're the third guy. You are not fighting for the championship yet. So what is the position in the team, and how do you approach that weekend with both of your teammates amidst the championship fight?
I think it's not an easy position to be in. Not only being like 3 cars, but also fighting Jack, for example. I don't want to interfere too much in the championship fight, but in the end I want to do my own race. That's also why I made sure that I could do a clean move without doing anything that would end in a disaster. But I cheer for Chan and Tommy. I help them where I can. And I really hope that tomorrow one of them will be the new DTM champion.
Okay, we wait and see. There are 7 other guys or 6 other guys who would think otherwise. So do we have any questions here from the floor?
Yeah, congrats to you guys. A question for Tommy. After the very good start, you were in the front, and then it looked like quite an easy race. Was that the case, or have there been any difficult moments for you as well?
It's never easy, first of all, especially in conditions like this. It's very important to keep up the focus, to always keep pushing, because as soon as you stop pushing, you make mistakes. So, not easy. It was very slippery, especially in the second stint when there was less water. You were more driving on the blocks of the tires, so quite slippery. But yeah, obviously we finished the job in a good way today, and I'm very happy about that.
Is it also very nice to have your teammate on the podium? Of course, he's taking away points from your direct opponents in the title fight.
It was honestly, I was really happy for him. He had a not easy rookie season, of course. It's very competitive, but he's always shown the potential and that he's able to do it. And I'm really happy for him and his whole crew, his engineers. They all deserve it. They all work very hard, and it's a good reward.
We see you a lot of times in the free practice sessions and also in the qualifying, directly behind each other when Morris is following you. Can you tell a little bit what is behind that? Is he just looking at your line, or?
No, it's something else, but don't want to go into detail.
Okay. Yeah, one more for you. You've, of course, been in the title fight in Hockenheim and you made it already. Now you're again in such a situation. Does it help you in any way that you've been there, or is it so different this year with so many?
It's very different this year. 2 years ago we were always there. This year we kind of had a setback. We came back to the front. Another setback, came back to the front. So it feels like we had to work really hard for it this time to be in this position. And anything that comes now is like a bonus almost, because we were really not supposed to be here. We maximized when it counted today, so I'm really proud of that. But for me there's only good pressure, only the pressure I make myself. So in the end I live for those moments. That's what I love, that's what you work towards. So in the end to be in a position where you are able to win the championship without needing any crazy luck or whatever tomorrow is very, very positive, and that's also how I perceive it in my mindset. In the end, like I said, during the whole lead up also to this weekend, in the end, if we want to win the championship, we need 2 good races. Nothing changed. We had a good race today. We need to have another good one tomorrow.
Yeah, and the question for Morris, first of all, congratulations to the podium. Yeah, you had a difficult start, but you ended in a great style now this weekend. What are your plans for next year? Do you want to stay in DTM now after recovering so well in the series?
Well, I think today is not the only reason why I like DTM. Through good and bad times, sometimes, you know, you end a session, you're really irritated in a good way because it's just such a high level. DTM was a goal of mine for a long time. I'm happy to be there now, and yeah, hopefully I have a long DTM career ahead of me.
Do you have further questions from the floor? No, thank you. Then, yeah, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and hopeful to see you everybody again tomorrow.
Thank you.